You've been lied to. Your whole life, you were taught that hard work is the key to wealth, that saving every penny would lift you out of poverty. But if that were true, why are the hardest workers often the poorest? The truth is, the wealthy play a completely different game. They don't chase money, they command its flow. They don't rely on luck, they build systems that produce repeatable results. In this video, you'll uncover 5 controversial actions the wealthy take every single day, and why each one defies everything the masses have been told to do. Let's begin the journey to dismantle the illusions of wealth, where truth might enrage you, but also liberate you forever. Ordinary people chase discounts as if they're financial lifelines. They'll drive hours to save a few dollars, stand in long lines for cheap items. But what they're spending isn't money. It's lifetime, the one thing that never comes back. While they think they're being smart, they're losing their most precious asset, the opportunity to create bigger value during that same time. That's the trap most never see. The rich understand this. They don't waste time hunting bargains. They know what they lose can't be refunded. Because time spent is never refundable. The wealthy think differently. They know time can be turned into money, and money can buy back time. They're willing to pay others to do small chores so they can reclaim hours to create, strategize, and scale. This isn't arrogance, it's leverage. It's what creates the gap, not because they started rich, but because they treated time as the currency of wealth. While others trade time for discounts, they trade money to buy freedom. It's not because they don't value money, it's because they understand time is the engine that multiplies it. That's the mindset separating levels of income. So stop asking why you're working hard and still broke. Start asking how many times you've traded priceless time for meaningless savings. Every time you cut corners for a discount, you sell your future power. The wealthy don't save. They invest time into actions that generate wealth. That's the truth most people can't handle, but it's the only truth that frees you from the hamster wheel. Want wealth? Start with valuing what you can never buy back. The clock is ticking, and the rich are running ahead while others are still lining up for coupons. Most people spend the moment money hits their account. A new gadget, a fancy meal, a short-lived getaway. They consume first and maybe invest if something's left. The wealthy do the opposite. They invest first, then live off what remains. This flips the script on everything society teaches. It's not popular, but it's powerful. It's not intuitive, but it works. Because wealth isn't built by consuming, it's built by multiplying. And multiplication only begins when money is directed, not reacted to. The poor chase dopamine, the rich chase return on investment. That's the line that separates survival from expansion. You don't need a 6-figure salary to start. What you need is discipline. Set aside 10%, then 20% of your income for investment before spending a cent. As your income grows, your investment grows, and your lifestyle still fits inside the rest. This pattern, invest, then spend, is how wealth compounds. The rich don't have extra money to invest. They invest so that they'll have extra money later. It's not about luck or timing, it's about priorities. The first dollars go to build the machine. The rest pays for life. That's how they stack assets, while others stack receipts. It's never about how much you earn. It's always about what you do with what you earn. If you're spending first and saving what's left, you're playing a rigged game. The world encourages you to consume now and worry later. The wealthy reject that trap. They pay themselves first, fund their future first, and only then allow lifestyle creep. This one principle, done relentlessly, can elevate even the lowest income into lasting wealth. Stop feeding the system that keeps you broke. Start feeding the engine that will one day set you free. The shift begins with one paycheck. This is the part that makes people uncomfortable. You don't need to understand everything before starting. In fact, waiting until you fully understand is often just glorified procrastination. Action produces real knowledge, not books, not endless theory. The wealthy don't overthink. They test, fail, adjust, and move. Every mistake gets them closer to mastery. Meanwhile, others keep studying, collecting certificates and learning, but never applying. That's why knowledge hoarders stay broke. The rich don't chase perfection, they chase progress. And progress only comes from doing. Fast. If you wait for perfect clarity, someone with half your intelligence will already own your dream. The biggest barrier to success isn't ignorance, it's the addiction to learning without doing. People read books, attend seminars, binge podcasts, then do nothing. They say they're preparing. In reality, they're afraid. The wealthy aren't afraid to look foolish. They read something useful and act on it that day. They don't wait for a masterclass. They test in the field, not the classroom. This is why they move fast while others stay stuck in research mode. Application creates mastery. Mistakes teach faster than theory. Experience pays dividends. Study is safe. Action is scary, but wealth only responds to courage. Ask yourself right now, how much have you studied versus how much you've implemented? The gap might shock you, but don't dwell. Start acting. Want to write? Publish something today. Want to invest? Start with $10 now. Want to lose weight? Walk around the block now. The rich don't wait to feel ready. They know readiness is a lie. You don't think your way into success. You move your way into it. Knowledge without execution is just decoration. Execution turns insight into income. Move now, refine later. Success belongs to those who act while others prepare forever. You can't do everything. It sounds obvious, but most struggling people still try. They think doing it all saves money. In reality, it kills scalability. The wealthy refuse to be bottlenecks. They delegate what doesn't demand their genius. They don't waste energy mowing lawns, fixing plumbing, or micromanaging. They hire, outsource, and build teams. Not because they're lazy, but because they're strategic. They understand time and attention are finite. You either multiply yourself or max out quickly. Control freaks stay broke. Builders let go. This is why the rich work less on low-value tasks and get 100x more results. Average people fear others doing things wrong, so they do everything themselves. That mindset is a ceiling. You can't scale a business while being the only mover. The rich know they'll lose some control at first, but they gain leverage. They train others, develop systems, and absorb the early pain of delegation. Eventually, they create machines that work without them. That's freedom, not vacations, not Ferraris, systems. People who refuse to delegate don't lack time. They lack courage. Delegation isn't weakness, it's leadership. And leadership isn't about doing everything better. It's about finding people who do it better than you. Even with limited money, start by outsourcing your lowest value task. Buy back your time. Use it to sharpen your core skill or expand your business. The wealthy don't wait until they're rich to build systems. They become rich because they build systems. You can't grow while you're buried in to-do lists. Stop being busy. Start being scalable. Learn to lead. Hire smarter. Let go of perfectionism. You don't get rich by working harder. You get rich by multiplying yourself. Delegation isn't optional, it's survival. Without it, your ceiling is permanent. With it, your potential becomes exponential. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Most people write vague dreams like, I want to be rich, or I want to lose weight. That's not a plan. The wealthy break down their goals into measurable daily actions. They reverse engineer the outcome, then build a system to reach it. They don't rely on motivation, they rely on clarity. A long-term goal only works if it's tied to what you're doing today. If your calendar doesn't reflect your ambition, your life never will. Dreams sound pretty. Plans look boring, but one builds your future, the other just decorates your mind. The rich don't ask, what do I want this year? They ask, what must I do this week to move 1 inch closer? Their plan is surgical. Specific calorie limits, specific dollar targets, specific habits tracked daily. And if something doesn't work, they adjust, not quit. Progress is built by iteration, not inspiration. The average person quits after a few setbacks. The rich treat failure as feedback. They monitor results like scientists, adjust variables, stay consistent. Success isn't mysterious, it's procedural. Most people don't fail from lack of desire, they fail from lack of systems. The wealthy win because they engineer outcomes. If you can't track it, you can't grow it. If you don't review it, you can't fix it. That's why the wealthy obsess over progress. They weigh in, check metrics, measure impact. They don't guess, they calculate. That's what makes their trajectory sustainable. Without a plan, action becomes random. Without measurement, plans become meaningless. Strategy isn't restrictive, it's liberating. It tells you what to do and when. It removes the guesswork. The poor hope things change. The wealthy ensure they do. You don't need more motivation. You need more precision. Build a plan so sharp it slices through excuses. Today's society rewards conformity. Trends dominate attention. People rush to do what's hot out of fear of being left behind. But the wealthy move in silence. They don't chase what's popular, they pursue what's effective. They're not afraid to go against the current. They skip hype, they ignore viral distractions, because they know most noise is worthless. While the world runs in circles chasing the next big thing, the rich stay focused on assets, systems, and long-term leverage. They don't fear looking weird, they fear wasting time. That's why they win when the trends fade and everyone else crashes. People lose fortunes copying others. They see someone making fast money in crypto, real estate, or stocks, and they jump in without understanding. The result? Regret, loss, collapse. The rich don't follow crowds, they follow fundamentals. They ignore mass hysteria. They build slowly, quietly, intentionally. This isn't luck, it's restraint. The average person mistakes noise for opportunity. The rich mistake nothing. They know most can't-miss plays are traps. And they'd rather be boring and wealthy than exciting and broke. Fads make headlines. Wealth is made in silence. That's why their portfolio grows while others gamble on what's trending. True wealth comes from saying no more than yes. No to distractions, no to hype, no to shortcuts. The rich focus on what they can control. They don't need approval. They don't chase validation. They build moats, not moments. While everyone else flashes, they fortify. And when the dust settles, the crowd wonders how they missed it. But they didn't miss it, they ignored it. What makes you rich isn't being everywhere. It's knowing where not to be. Say no more often. Focus more deeply. Build what lasts, while everyone else builds for attention. That's how the game is truly won. Broke people wait for consensus. They want validation before acting. They crave approval before building. But nothing revolutionary is born from agreement. The wealthy move without permission. They launch when others hesitate. They execute even when doubted. Because they know, if you wait for support, you'll die waiting. The bolder your dream, the more pushback you'll face. The richer your vision, the lonelier your path. The rich don't need applause to begin. They lead from conviction, not consensus. They don't wait to be understood. They act to be proven right. Approval is optional. Action is mandatory. You say you want change, but need someone to believe in you first? That's a trap. The world won't believe until you succeed. And by then, you won't need them. The wealthy are willing to look crazy early, so they can look genius later. They understand that mass approval is not a prerequisite for massive success. They don't share plans to be liked, they move in silence to be effective. Waiting for support is just fear in disguise. Every minute you delay for approval is a minute stolen from your future. Permission seekers stay stuck. Decision makers move mountains. No one will grant you a permission slip to get rich. There is no official go-ahead for greatness. You must authorize yourself. The wealthy don't beg, they decide. They don't announce, they execute. They don't explain, they prove. If your dreams offend small minds, good. That means you're onto something. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable. Stop deferring your future to protect their insecurities. Success is not a group activity. It's a declaration, made in solitude, backed by relentless action. You don't need validation. You need boldness. The question isn't who agrees with me, it's what am I waiting for? Most people believe persistence alone guarantees success. It doesn't. The poor persist blindly. They repeat broken strategies, burn time, and call it grind. The rich persist strategically. They act, measure, adjust, repeat. They don't just try again. They change variables, optimize actions, and refine the process. That's the difference. They don't worship effort. They worship feedback. Working hard on the wrong thing doesn't make it right. Without metrics, persistence becomes self-sabotage. The wealthy aren't robots. They're engineers of progress. They track what matters and eliminate what doesn't. That's why they evolve, while others wear themselves out, going in circles. Plenty of talented people stay broke, not because they lack skill, but because they lack systems. The wealthy don't rely on motivation or genius. They rely on frameworks that repeat success. They remove guesswork. They prioritize structure over emotion. It's not that they never fail, it's that failure feeds their feedback loop. They don't restart every day. They refine what already works. Average people rely on hustle. The rich rely on architecture. And in the long game, systems beat talent. Every single time. That's why consistency isn't just about discipline, it's about having a machine that sustains it. Winners build predictable engines. If you start from scratch every day, you'll never scale. The wealthy operate like machines. Their routines connect to outcomes. Their tools track results. Their days are measured, not improvised. They don't leave growth to chance. They schedule it. Without systems, everything is guesswork. With systems, progress becomes inevitable. That's how the rich remove friction, increase focus, and protect momentum. You don't need more passion. You need a better process. Repeatable, trackable, adjustable. When your life runs on systems, you're not hoping to succeed. You're designing success. Stop gambling with chaos. Start engineering your rise. That's how empires are built. Most people think working more equals earning more. But that's a trap. The rich don't work harder. They work at the right level. They don't clock extra hours to feel productive. They position themselves at the top of the value chain. They make decisions that impact others. They own leverage. Wealth is not about sweat. It's about placement. If your decisions drive outcomes, your income reflects it. If your time is traded for tasks, your ceiling is low. The wealthy don't escape labor by luck. They do it by choosing roles that multiply their output without multiplying their hours. No one pays big for effort alone. People pay for problems solved. The wealthy understand this. They don't chase busyness, they chase effectiveness. They eliminate tasks that don't move the needle. They delegate what's repetitive and automate what's predictable. They keep only the high-leverage responsibilities that directly drive revenue, scale, or transformation. That's why they appear to work less, but earn infinitely more. Their impact per hour is massive, because their role is aligned with results. The broke stay busy, the rich stay focused. It's not about effort, it's about knowing which action changes the game. To escape the grind, you must evolve from laborer to architect. From being the worker to designing the work. That's how the wealthy build freedom. They design systems, lead teams, and own equity. They extract themselves from daily tasks and place themselves in decision-making, strategy, and scale. Their income flows whether they work or not, because they built the engine. If you're stuck doing everything yourself, you're not irreplaceable. You're in the way. Shift from task taker to value creator, from employee mindset to owner mindset. That's the transformation that turns hours into assets and actions into legacy. No one will hand you wealth. No one will pave your path to freedom. You must build it, step by step, choice by choice, hour by hour. The rich aren't waiting. They move. They don't pray for miracles. They construct realities. Each day, they make decisions the average person avoids. They sacrifice comfort for power. They replace wishful thinking with calculated action. Riches don't emerge from hope. They rise from structure. You're not stuck because you lack talent. You're stuck because you haven't decided to wage war on your current limitations relentlessly every single day. If you want to change your life, forget 10-year dreams. Pick one power move today. Not someday, not soon, now. Start with one investment, one boundary, one tough decision. Then repeat. Wealth is built from simple, unsexy, repeated execution. The rich don't wait for epiphanies, they create patterns that compound. The gap between you and them is not knowledge, it's rhythm. While others drift, they direct. While others react, they initiate. Discipline isn't about force, it's about systemized focus. One consistent move done obsessively will outperform 100 inspirational moments. Choose a move, do it. Then do it again until it reshapes your future. Now it's your turn. Stay in the cycle of excuses, or break it. Choose one of the 5 actions. Invest first. Act now. Delegate smart. Plan precisely. Ignore the noise. Pick one and embed it in your life. Let the results guide you. This isn't a motivational speech, it's your fork in the road. The rich chose long before they were rich. That's what made them rich. No one is coming. No one is stopping you. You can delay again, or you can decide. One action, one system, one shift, and the game is forever changed. In the end, it's not the hardest worker who wins. It's the one who dares to think differently, act boldly, and destroy the lies fed to the masses. Wealth doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who refuse to follow the script. The 5 daily actions of the wealthy aren't secrets. They're weapons, quiet, uncomfortable, unpopular, but deadly effective. You can keep chasing comfort, or you can choose control. You can keep consuming, or start building. But know this, every day you delay, someone else is compounding. Time doesn't wait, wealth doesn't wait. And the future rewards only one thing: decisive action. The question is no longer how. The question is whether you'll finally move or stay behind.